So where are we going now, Scott?
We're just cruising the residential sections of Castle Rock. This is one of the new subdevelopments that have come in. It's probably about 10 years old. This is all cap housing, which is people in financial needs, and they build the houses and then get a good family dwelling out of it at the end.
Okay. So Scott, you say you're the chief. How did you start off your career in Castle Rock, or?
No, I actually started as a volunteer with as a cadet with the Cowlitz County Sheriff's Office, and then was a reserve officer for them for several years.
Oh wow.
In 1991, I was hired by the Kalama Police Department and spent about 11 years in the city of Kalama, and then came to Castle Rock 11 years later, and have been here ever since.
So, if you were a reserve, I guess, has it always been the plan to be in law enforcement?
I
guess I'm not sure how that trajectory works.
My parents were school teachers.
Okay.
My mom was huge on community activism, being involved in the community, and that really got me where I was at. I spent some time in the fire service as a volunteer, and it was really a tough decision whether it was going to be fire or police.
Okay.
And but I knew it was going to be some public service that I was going to do, be involved in. That was just something that my mom laid on my heart, early when I was a kid.
I really like, earlier you're talking about your parents were school teachers, and just kind of how they pressed upon your heart to be community minded, and I like to see how it's truly a generational thing. Yeah. Maddie, I guess how do you envision your future with community involvement outside of the medical practice? Do you see yourself, I don't know, on the board of any nonprofits? And
definitely. I mean, that's something that has been a big part of my life. Volunteering, just from my dad, and like he said, his mom instilled it in him, and now he's instilled it in me and my brothers. And so I volunteer a lot, and I am involved in a lot of community organizations, and it's just something that I really enjoy doing, and it's something that I never want to stop doing, because I really love the opportunity to be able to give back to the community.
So do you feel like, do you have it pressed on your heart right now that you want to give back to the community?
Yeah.
So what I love about that, absolutely, is that you're in high school, you're a senior, right? And I know there are people out there like, oh, I don't have anything. Why would I give back? But the attitude of wanting to give back usually stems from an attitude of gratitude, right? You see the things that you've been given. I think that's really cool that even now you see that there are there's opportunities for you to give back.
Yeah.
That's cool. So what are some things that you do? I imagine you're involved in your high school, doing some community projects there.
Yeah.
What are some things that you're doing there?
I'm involved in the prevention team, so part of the Care Coalition.
What is that?
Basically, the Care Coalition is the community group, and their goal is the community is working to do prevention. So having drug and alcohol prevention, teaching people, educating. They do community events like drug and alcohol free events, and things like that. They hold a youth conference to teach kids. I think it's 6th grade, right? Okay. Dad is the age group, 6th grade, and they have a whole bunch of speakers come in, and they have suicide prevention, drug and alcohol prevention. It's just a super fun day for the kids to get to learn, and a bunch of events like that.
Okay, that's cool. That's really cool.
Well, don't let her sell herself short.
Okay.
Where did you spend last summer, Maddie? Where do we go?
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, she's been on the mission field. She's been in Nicaragua.
Oh, okay.
Spent time down in Nicaragua working with disadvantaged youth, building houses, working on medical teams down there. She's been a counselor at Camp Attitude, which is a special needs camp.
Okay.
She's been there multiple years, so she's out doing lots and lots of stuff. you know, and like you said, people say, well, I don't have anything. Everybody has time.
Yeah.
You know, everybody can give time, and that's generally what most of these, you know, what most of the places need are volunteers to come in and help.
Yeah.
You know, whether you can make a huge impact on an hour a week, you know, it doesn't need to be a huge time commitment. Just a little bit of commitment will help you out. You know, will help the whole community out, and at the end of it, you know, you feel better. I had just one thought about maybe, you know, Madison talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
But do you want to share any more stories?
Yeah.
About that, Madison?
Oh, about camp?
Yeah. I know that you made some connections there that you still carry today.
Yeah, I mean, just getting to be there. I mean, I've made a lot of connections with the counselors, but also, like I said, just getting to watch the kids grow and experience things. And I went into it not really knowing what to expect, and I came out of it gaining a lot more than I thought that I would from it. I had a really awesome time, and it was a really amazing experience just to get to spend a week with these kids and love them and kind of like show them that even though there has been a lot of negative things in their life, everything isn't negative, and there are people that care. And I think back to a previous question you asked about like encouragement for people thinking about it and kind of thinking like, oh, maybe I can't make a difference, or I think that like any opportunity you have to potentially make a difference or plant a seed in someone's life, you should take, because it's really important to just, I mean, it's just a week and you will gain so much out of it, and getting to show kids love and acceptance and all of these things that they have had really poor negative examples of in their life, I think that's really, really important. And if you think that you can't make a difference, you're wrong, and you definitely can make a difference.
Or, I mean, that was pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was just an amazing experience, and getting to be involved and doing things afterwards, like the character costumes and like the Christmas parties and tea parties and all that kind of stuff is really special, and getting to kind of give back to the kids in that way also is really special.
When we talk about Royal Family Kids Camp, I know we're big on talking about the actual week of camp, but there are so many opportunities for people to volunteer and support that aren't necessarily going to camp that week. You actually just talked about like the tea party and some of the costume events that we do throughout the year that are fundraisers. But we also have, so we have that's local, but we also have things that happen, other fundraisers, but we also have like support staff that happen to be in camp or in town during the week of camp. And those are opportunities for people to get involved with as well. Yeah.
Well, and we know several families that have foster kids, you know, that we met through our journey and our process, that have been to the camps and to the tea parties and those things, and it's hugely impactful to them. It's hugely impactful to the families. It's hugely impactful to the kids, and I just remember when they realized that one of the kids, when realized that it was Madison, who they know through our connections with the family, the little girl was just so excited that she was able to see Madison again and had that connection, that she got to see and hang out with Madison again, that she met at camp, and it was just a highlight for them to remember all the fun and positive times that they had.
That's true. That's good. That's by seeing you on a regular basis, it kind of reinforces the positive things that have happened, and that's a good thing.
I think even just seeing that, and you know, like we talked about our journey with foster care and my little brother, and I think even just seeing that in his life, how much love can change, just like having supportive, loving adults in your life can really change the way that kids see things and their behavior and just their attitudes about life. I think looking at, you know, a lot of the negatives from his life versus like just how much he's grown and changed with the positives is huge.
Well, the kids didn't pick who their parents were.
Right.
They didn't get to pick this. This was, you know, this was the life that they were given, and anything we could do to make that better or to improve it, you know, it's on us as good human beings to make those changes and to make those positives and take care of those kids and let them know that there are people that love them and care about them and want them to be successful. So then they become good human beings that remember all the time and energy that was invested in them, and then they turn around and come back and invest that energy in other people. And if we can touch 10 kids, and they can touch 10 kids, and they can touch another 10 kids, it just expands that and can surround the community in love and hope and caring.
I think a lot of times with like volunteering and things like this, a lot of people just get in this mindset of like, it's not my job, it's not my duty or whatever, like somebody else will do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a really negative mindset to have. I think like if everybody just says somebody else will do it, then nobody's going to do it. And if not you, then who? And I think like as Christians, it's our duty, to spread the love of God. And it is your job, and it is your, it's your calling to spread love and acceptance to everyone.
So I think that's inspirational. I think thank you for taking the time to show me around Castle Rock.
Yeah,
I think
problem.
Yeah, one of the things I've learned from this is that I know we're here talking about Rural Family Kids Camp, but what you just showed me is that, man, to make the community better in general, there are plenty of opportunities to just serve in your community, and I would recommend that you go and maybe go to your local city government website and probably find some ways to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And there's lots of different community events out there. If you're in school, you can go to your counselors, and they'll help you find ways to volunteer and give back to your community. Maybe working with kids is not necessarily your thing. Yeah. When I went down to, I've been to Camp Attitude a couple of times. I washed dishes all week long. Okay. That was my support role, and cleaned restrooms, so the kids could be connected with the kids and still have food and all the stuff taken care of. So it's not necessarily that you have to be in the front. There's tons of ways to support programs.
For sure. So there are things that you could look up, but I guess since we're here also talking about Rural Family Kids Camp, if you've been listening to this and after hearing their stories, if you want to be involved with Rural Family Kids Camp, I'll leave a link to the website. It'll probably be on the screen right here, maybe, and then you can just look for different ways you can get signed up. So thanks again for your guys' time.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, thank you for your time. So, all right, that was fun.
Cool.